night.
In the race car of life, there are but two speeds, fast and way too fast. In the raceway of explicitly car-themed action movies, there are three, crap, way too crap, and the likes of the newest film from Edgar Wright, Baby Driver. Seriously, this movie was pretty fucking awesome, which maybe should have gone without saying given the director's track record, but let's not mince words here. From the outset, this film looked really stupid. If it had been helmed by literally any other director, I can confidently assume that not many people would have given a shit, and it would have been chalked up as a Fast and Furious knockoff before it was even out. I mean, the prospect of some tweety music-obsessed hipster constantly showing up roomfuls of at least semi-competent adults, all while playing through some tortuous young adult romance and actually being seriously addressed by the name of Baby, sounds pretty fucking insufferable to me, no matter how cool and practical your car stunts are. It sounds like all the worst parts of that Kingsman movie smashed together without even possessing the common decency to shoot up a church while they're at it. But I will be damned if they don't make this shit work. Let's start as the movie's marketing did, with the music. The way the soundtrack is set up is that the music the audience hears is whatever song the main character happens to be listening to at that particular moment. Basically, the movie was written around a specific set of songs and becomes more or less a feature-length music video, which, despite a promise of uninvolvement, actually turns out highly in the movie's favor. The music isn't just there for kicks or for some nostalgic spot fest. For the majority of the film, the rhythm and tempo of the soundtrack actually syncs up with sounds from the movie's universe, meaning that the movie actually moves to the beat of whatever song happens to be playing at the time. It's a fresh and interesting concept for anything longer than the average trailer, and is especially impressive given the number of long single-take tracking shots in the film. In general, the direction and cinematography is pretty top-notch. Aside from the aforementioned long takes, the moment-to-moment storytelling is managed in such a way that a great amount of detail can be delivered by the characters or the setting to the audience in short, quick bursts without ever becoming overwhelming or tedious. The action scenes manage to keep all the critical moments clearly in frame and easily digestible. Any major edits within the same scene are disguised in such a way that it keeps the pacing consistent. Speaking of which, the pacing is probably Baby Driver's greatest strength. Since the film moves to the beat of the music, the fact that most of the soundtrack was relatively energetic contributed to an overall fast pace, and it's thanks to this that I never once came close to being bored in spite of the 2-hour runtime, and the variety of music on display, not just in tone but also in genre, meant that it was never repetitive either. But the best thing is that the movie was able to keep up a near constant level of tension, making it genuinely hard to look away from the screen for even a moment, and this I attribute not only to the presentation but also to the acting. Every one of the performances was great. John Hamm and Eiza Gonzalez were definitely the highlights as an unhinged criminal couple. Kevin Spacey is basically just doing what he does, but it's what he does best, so it's not like I'm gonna complain. And even Jamie Foxx is good. And it all comes together under a laser-focused script and an unpredictable screenplay. It's funny when it needs to be, and it doesn't try to be funny when it doesn't need to be. It just goes to show you how much good can come from putting a variety of interesting characters in a car going really fast and just having them react realistically to the situation. Everyone's got their own reasons for being there. They're all wound up tighter than Sean Spicer's ties. They say fuck a whole bunch, and everyone has a grand old time. If there's anything I do have to complain about, there was one scene in the diner where everyone just sits down in a booth and starts spouting expositional tidbits, not about themselves, but about each other, for like 2 fucking minutes. At one point, Jamie Foxx literally points to John Hamm and is like, yo, you are this, and I'm like, alright, he is that. Good to know. I mean, there wasn't anything to suggest that earlier in the movie, so I guess it'll be important later, maybe? No? Alright then. But like I said, that scene's over about as quickly as it starts, and there's some pretty stellar performances that make up for most of it, and besides, the movie's so damn fun, I barely even noticed. This is perhaps the most purely entertaining movie I've seen in quite some time, and I cannot recommend it enough. Not only is it generally refreshing to see a movie of this genre made with such craft and polish, but it's personally refreshing to see one where the series of events can unfold without making local law enforcement or even entire national governments look like bumbling idiots. Fucking go see it.